Hi, y'all. I'm Allison. Today we're going to proceed to our third stop in our buddy read of From Below by Darcy Coates. So let's do a quick page check-in, and I am using the right numbers this time. Since things have changed a little bit and you now have the option to either read prior to watching the video or you can read along with me, then you want to at least have gotten to page 164. If you haven't made it to that point, then you need to back up a stop or two. So I will have those up in the corner for you so you can hop over to where you need to be, because I am going to be reading on camera, reacting and speculating, spoiling my way through our next segment. So this time around, we are experimenting with a new format, giving you the option to either read ahead so you know what I will be reading today, and you get to wait and go, haha, wait till she gets to this part. Or you can actually read along with me. I will put the page number up on the screen. I'm going to pause a little bit longer today to give you time to hit pause before I start talking about what happened on those pages. So you can try to read along with me. Still experimenting with this, still trying to figure it out. Let me know if these pauses and everything, this is getting disruptive. You know, there's some tweaking, so I really appreciate your feedback on it, whether you have read ahead or if you are attempting to read along with me. Either way, I want to know how this is coming across, because it's kind of hard for me to judge. Page 164, you definitely should have read to that one, which was when you go somewhere most people can't or try something dangerous, there's always a fee. You definitely want to have reached that point. If you have read ahead, then you should already be on page 241, and our stop for that was, hey, help me with my light. So there's where we are. Now, as far as the book itself, so most of us really agree that we are frustrated beyond belief with Aiden. Can't believe he let his oxygen tank go so low because he's putting everybody at risk. So what that boy is thinking, I have no idea, but I'm assuming we're going to experience some of that panic that he has had during one of the next dives that's coming up, because I think it was Wanda was saying we had a missed opportunity not experiencing that with him. You know, because we kind of jumped ahead to when he was already up on the ship. And it's like, I bet, because you're saving it, because it's going to happen again, from what I gather of Aiden. And who was it? So Stacey S. had a theory on all of that furniture that was blocking the hallway. She thinks that the crew was barricading in Fitz, that Fitz just kind of went completely off the deep end. And they had to contain him somewhat, and I didn't even make that connection, and I bet you're right. I bet there's something to that, because Fritz was definitely becoming undone, and I want to know what he's seeing, but yet at the same time, I don't know if I want to know what he's seeing, because I have a feeling it's going to get really creepy. It's already so eerie just being underwater. Everybody agrees with that. The atmosphere in this is so incredible, and I know it's just going to escalate as we go. Let me see. There were also some other things that I wanted to point out. I know Wanda is thinking that, you know, the ship, whatever it is that's down there, it seems like the crew is already starting to be affected by it too. Kind of like how the Caraways and Fitz and everybody had that eerie feeling 90 years ago. It seems like the crew is already behaving a little oddly. I know, Hessie was having those weird thoughts that she was like, where did that come from? Roy seems to be behaving a little bit differently. I don't know if Aiden, you know, maybe there's something to that. Maybe that's why he thought it would be okay to keep going even though he only had 6%. Maybe he had some, you know, something was messing with his mind telling him it was okay. That could be why it wasn't addressed. I don't know. Can't wait. And I was wrong if I said it was Wanda earlier. It was Carol. Carol was thinking it was a missed opportunity with Aiden with his ascent back up to the top with only the 6% air. So, yeah, I think think we're going to see it again. As I told Carol, I think it would have been a little anticlimactic for that to have been delved into completely at that point. You know, I think they're saving some of Aiden's terror for later. Or, like I said, that new theory that I just stumbled upon that maybe it's messing with his head and telling him it was okay that he could keep going. But I doubt it, knowing what we know of Aiden so far. And Stacey L. brought up something that hadn't even been on my radar either, and that is Devereaux. He's the owner of the ship that they're on, you know, and I thought he was just kind of like the bus driver. He was only there to provide transportation. But Stacey reminded me that he is a historian, but it doesn't necessarily make sense that he would be the one poring over the footage. He's the one who found the image, you know, the movement underneath the bed when Hesse was examining the first class cabin. But why would he be the one poring over the footage? That seems like that would be more something Roy would do as the cameraman, looking for the good angles and everything. He would have the expertise to go through that. Or even Cove, because I think she's the one kind of putting together the documentary. So why is Devereaux the one to do it? You know, does he maybe know something about this shipwreck that the others don't? Being a historian, that's possible. So he may have a hidden agenda on why they're there. And I think it was Stacey. I couldn't find it. Maybe it was from part 1. Maybe that's what it was. But somebody was saying, what if the comm system wasn't actually down? We just kind of took Devereaux's word that there was no way to talk from the ship. Sean and Devereaux couldn't communicate with the crew down below when Sean found the diary or the journal. So what if the communication wasn't actually broken and Devereaux does have his own hidden agenda? He wouldn't want them to surface before they found what he needed. So that could add a whole new level. So I am really excited by this unexpected angle. So that'll be cool. I'll be watching for that. I'm going to be watching Devereaux now. Oh, and there was one other thing. With Aiden, with his tank being at 6%, and a lot of us thought that it was kind of odd that they just went to the next dive without that being addressed. Wouldn't those tanks be checked when they surfaced or before going down on the next dive? I'm assuming, do they have brand new tanks or do they get refilled? I don't know how that works, but it seems like somebody would have discovered how low the oxygen level was on his tank. I've never dived, so I don't know if they just have a whole bunch of tanks lined up and you use a new one each time you go down, which probably would be the... I don't know, but it just seemed odd that that wasn't... that nothing's been said about that. Maybe that will be addressed today. We will find out. Okay, I know I could sit here forever just talking and speculating, but let's actually get into the book to find out what's going to happen today. I have a feeling it's going to be rather hair-raising. I actually get to start out with a whole couch. I forgot to mention Aussie Gamer Girl. She made a really good observation that completely went over my head. They were describing how the colors would be distorted underwater, and you know, like the gray outline of the lipstick was actually red, and that would show up in the camera. So she was saying, how creepy would it be to, you know, look at the footage after the fact and see everything in color? And I agree, because it'd be one thing to see that in gray and then to come back and see that outline in bright red and see the red nails under the bed whenever they do see that footage. That just adds a whole new level of eerie to it. My camera's tilted. So Lily is outside. I'm sure once I settle in and start to read, she will start barking at the door and want to come in. But in the meantime, I'm going to take advantage of having the couch and get started. So ready to get back into this. I haven't read anything since Sunday. It was delayed because of jury duty and everything. So if you are reading along with me, when I have something to say, I will put up the page number. That's where you'll want to stop. And you can hear what I'm going to gush about before you proceed further into the book. And I forgot, they are starting their second dive. Okay. So let's go back underwater with them. It's so creepy. it's already amped up the creep level because the sediment that Roy stirred up the other day is starting to calm down, but it's made everything really hazy, so they've lost more visibility than they had the first day, so things can sneak up on them that much easier. And Cove saw a flash of motion out of the periphery. She's already, her skin's crawling and her throat is tight and everything. She's already nervous, and they're just now entering the ship, so everybody's really at a heightened level, I would assume, and they haven't even begun with the lowered visibility. Yeah. Ooh, flashback. Okay, I was going to go through the whole flashback scene before I said anything, but oh my God. So we know more about the sounds, and it sounds like broken fingernails digging at the metal. And the way Harlan describes what he's picturing, you know, the gouges in the metal and on the other side of the wall. And nobody will come out of their room. They knock on the doors to bring the passengers in 30 at a time to eat. A whole bunch missing, presumed dead. And the one body that they found crammed into the narrow gap beside the boiler and furnace with his skin cooked off his bones. I knew it would amp up today. I just didn't know it was going to amp up immediately. I thought it was going to be a slow, but no, we're just going to... What is going on this ship? This has got to be the workers, from the workers that died, right? Is that what it is? And, you know, we were talking about, or at least I was, about the bodies, you know. Of course, they're going to find skeletons and bodies and everything. But if they were like the first two people at the beginning that just went off the side of the ship, maybe they're not going to find a lot of bodies. Maybe all of these, you know, like the chef is missing and presumed dead. Maybe he was another one that just took a header right off the side. And if they're doing that in droves, they're not going to find many bodies. But they are going to find some. Okay, I'm going to continue. I really wish I had the time to read this at night. As crazy as that sounds, because I can imagine how creepy this would be at night. I know somebody is reading it at night. I don't know if it was Wanda or Carol, or I don't remember, but I wouldn't have time to get the editing done. Okay, I'm going back. Maybe it's for the best that I have to read during the day. That Lily's joined us. Oh my God, says something terrified him so fiercely that he willingly crawled to hide in that spot by the boilers. There's only one of 8 missing who could be recovered. And how many more found creative hiding places? His decomposing remains might be uncovered inside cupboards or under machinery weeks later. That would, you know, the one in the first class cabin was hiding underneath the bed. Oh my God, what is on the ship? Harlan's thinking about the missing passengers that didn't come out to join them to go eat. And he's like, you know, even worse than finding out that they were dead in the rooms, hiding or cuddled together, was what if they weren't there, and where would they vanish to? Where could they go? Inside the walls? How many people? I love Darcy Coates. She is so good at atmosphere and creating such an eerie, unsettling environment. Talking about how the lights have gone out and there's but some parts of the hallway were lit by sickly yellow bulbs before the long stretches of grim shadows, and then their jackets brushing against each other. Jesus. Yeah, I think I'm glad I'm reading this during the day. Oh, so Harlan ended up following Fitz, and it seems like he's being lured in by whatever is behind that wall as well. So it's definitely messing with their minds, because Harlan that would have been the last place he would go, back to where Fitz was obsessing over the wall, and now he's being allured by it. Is calling to him where the curtain between their world and the other side seemed the thinnest. So is this like a portal? Is this like letting in all sorts? Oh my God, it's so creepy. And it's gonna get worse, because there's 6 more days until this ship sinks. Yeah. Whew. Bravo, Darcy Coates. Damn, what a way to set a scene. Okay, back to present day. I don't know that it's going to get any calmer. We will see. I think we're going to go back to the subtle creepy now, as we know it's these 2 timelines are going to intersect. Whatever's happening back then is going to collide with present day, and oh my God, they're in the cargo hold. Cove and Roy and Aiden. First of all, I have to say, did Roy cause that box to fall, or boxes, crates? Because whenever everything just went to hell and the boxes fell, the crates fell, causing the silt out, they can't see anything. She couldn't even see her gauge on her oxygen tank to see how much air she had left. But Aiden cried out, "No, Roy." So did Roy just get too close to something, accidentally bump into something to cause the crates to fall, or did he intentionally reach out and push it? I'm beginning to really wonder about Roy, because we already know that he threw caution to the wind before by jerking back the curtain. He didn't care about the silt. So was this an accident, or did he intentionally do it? I don't know, but that whole scene with them getting trapped in there and her calculating how much air they have left. And was this about the dive line being cut? So I was just kind of stunned so much while I was reading it. I don't know that I got the full implication of that. What Cove was saying about the dive line. Cove was saying they have like an hour and a half of air, assuming they can get to him, and that the collapsed crates haven't boxed them in completely. And then it turns out that there's something wrong with the dive line. Yeah, the dive line's untethered. And Vanna's wondering if Roy tampered with it, who said no. So it was either pulled off the rock that Vanna tethered it to, or it was cut. And Roy's saying, well, you couldn't have tied it off properly then. Okay, but Vanna, I guess, is confident that she could get to them without the dive line. But how creepy was that when Harlan, or not Harlan, I got him confused. Harlan reminds me of Aiden for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because they're both young. I don't know. But someone's holding on to Aiden's foot. And Vanna said, nope, we're higher up. So what's holding on to his foot? Oh no, back to the flashbacks. Okay, I got a new battery. My God, this is intense. Lily's blocking Finley from sitting on my lap. Oh. Are you jealous, Lily? Oh, she is 100% in my lap. You're a little big for that, Lily. Well, what is Fitz talking to you? Saying, shh, my beauty, wait a moment, dear one. Oh my God. And he's about to pry off the metal wall. He's gonna let something out of the wall. Okay, Lily pulled my microphone off. So Fitz is about to let something out of the wall. Said, you made it good. You need to see. Everyone needs to. Just wait. Just wait. What's he about to unleash on the ship? It's the whole wall. So the mist is inside his head. Harland is trying to... He knows he should try to stop Fitz or something like that, but he said the mist is inside his head. He's incapable of anything other than staring, which is how the passengers are behaving, the ones that are supposed to be following him to the dining hall. Oh. Made me look silly. The passengers are now there. They followed him into the hold. Oh, the captain's there. The captain's telling him to continue. So he found a shriveled, twisted corpse. Was that one of the workers that was caught between the layers of the hull? Okay, now we're back in current day. Oh my God. My God, as if it couldn't get any worse, Aiden's completely flipped out. And something happened to their audio. They can no longer talk to each other. Oh, I would be beyond 10 levels of panic. I'd be like, I'm going up. I'll see y'all. No, I wouldn't, but I would want to. Can you imagine the level of panic and the fight or flight response kicking in? Every fiber of your being would be, that's it. I'm going to the surface. But yet you wouldn't want to leave the other people behind. Holy crap. I mean, what could cause their audio to... What could break all of their audio? You know, it's one thing if Roy and Aiden are tussling and everything, but to cut out everybody's sound? Oh. Okay, so Vanna and Hesty just went to get the dive line. I guess they were retracing their steps because they had to get the other end of it before they could proceed further, if I got that right. But she clipped the discarded dive line onto her belt and began rewinding it, and she noticed the cable was looser than it should have been. Quick tug brought it snaking to her without resistance. So I think they are completely without a dive line now. So they're by the dining room. The other three are in the cargo hold with no communication. Their audio is out, and they're in a complete blackout from all the silt. So they can't even tell up from down. Somebody's holding on to Aiden's foot. Aiden's flipping out, causing Roy to get upset. And who knows where Cove is. Holy shit, that escalated fast. And I mean, right? Their dive line's not connected? Yeah, even without, they had a clear path outside. Okay. Okay, so those two aren't lost at this point. Vanna and Hesty. But the other three are in a bad situation. Yeah, Aiden's gonna run out of air fast the way he's panicking. So Hesty's realizing that their door that they just came through has closed. It was open 15 minutes prior. Now she's being startled by thoughts that something cut the rope. Someone cut the rope, and it's repeating the thought after she thought, and maybe did somebody close the door? So is there actually something behind Vanna? Is the shapes that Harlan describing, is it with them now. Because this whole thing with Hesty leading the way and Vanna behind her, and Hesty feeling like something's behind her, but she's afraid to turn around to confirm. The tension in this, and it's just, oh my God. Okay, I gotta, behind Vanna. Something that's 15 feet behind the dive instructor. Okay, so she's shown the light, doesn't see anything. You know, it's just flecks in the water, her mind playing with her own mind painting phantoms. There was nothing there, but she said that, but the second that she raised the flashlight, she thought she saw movement, just a fraction. And where she saw that movement, there's swirling up a lot of sediment. So maybe she really did see something there. Oh, and then they had that sound of metal settling back into place right before the comms came back on. Oh my God. I would have peed my pants like 20 times. So what, I don't know. Okay, I'm glad we're not, I'm glad when I turn the page, we're not doing a flashback. I don't know that I can handle one just yet. Okay, so things seem to be calming down for a little bit, at least right now. And they're saying Aiden's ordeal was actually a rope caught on his foot. I don't know that I buy that, but everybody seems really calm now, and they've even gotten out of the hold, so I don't know. But they're being smart. They're ending the dive because Aiden, I'm sure, blew through so much of his oxygen in his panic, and Roy's refusing to go through the dining room because of that thing that was in there, so they have to find a different way out. But they are going back up to the surface. Okay, they even have a plan in case they lose contact again. She's going to tie the dive line. But wait, Hesty's questioning things because she didn't hear Aiden's voice. It's just Cove and Roy talking. And Hesty's, questioning it. Like, I didn't hear from Aiden. Is everything okay? She's having, something doesn't feel right to her. Something had happened and he'd been left in the storage hold. I mean, they would know if Aiden didn't surface with them. Oh, okay, there's Aiden. Yeah, it shows how on edge I am. I immediately thought there was some kind of a little cover-up going. Oh, poor Aiden. With his voice coming out high-pitched and hiccuping when he said he wasn't crying. The poor kid. Okay, so it looks like Hesty and Vanna are going to try another route, and everything seems to be okay. They've got out of the cargo hold. But, and I realized I meant to mention it while it was going on, when Hesty was in the hallway and looking back at Vanna, and when Hesty was, leading the way, trying to find the way out originally in the hallway with the door that had closed, she had that sensation telling her not to look back, that, that sense of dread and everything. And I wonder what that camera is going to show, because it's going to show something was there all along. But all that time she kept having those weird thoughts, and she's like, no, it's just I see, it's fine. I'm not going to turn around and look. Those rear cameras are just going to be, okay. No, we're going back to another flashback. Oh my God. I was doing okay with the remains that they found in the, trapped between the panels of the hull at first, the mummied body and everything, mummified body and everything. But when they were removing the corpse and the tearing sound of the skin, and not the whole body wasn't removed at once. It left a layer of skin affixed to the wall. And then the noises started back up with the tapping and the scraping of fingernails. And the passengers saying there are others. There were more in the wall. Oh my God. I would be like, get me off the ship now. Holy crap. Oh my God. How many bodies are going to be? And how did they get there? The scene, what actually happened that Cove didn't tell Hessie and Vanna, with Aiden flipping out and literally climbing over them to get away from whatever was holding his hand, and he almost knocked off Cove's mask. It was not at all the vibe that I got whenever Cove was telling Hessie and Vanna that everything was okay. I didn't expect anything quite so dramatic had happened over there, although I should have. But Aiden completely flipped his lid. Like, yeah, that fits. And apparently they're getting low on, they're starting to get low on oxygen because they're all kind of panicking one level or another. So technically they need to start making their way up, but they still got to find their way out. But Cove pointed out that she was listening to Hessie make plans with Vanna, and she assumed the dive instructor was nodding or giving nonverbal signals. But it was disconcerting to only hear one side of the conversation. And that's right, Vanna hasn't said a word, has she? She's been silent and just kind of giving signals. So is something going on with Vanna? Is that, because Hessie's mentioned a few times, that she can't see through the mask, the faceless person behind her and all that, Hessie's had these really weird, ominous feelings for a while. So is everything okay with Vanna? Is she there? And why isn't she talking? So I don't, adds another creep level to it. Yeah, Cove just thought, if there's a letter, they're having a lot of intrusive thoughts whenever they're down below, even if they were up on the ship. And I'm wondering if that's part of what's going on in the ship, if there's some kind of mind games at play. Did Cove, Roy, and Aiden just stumble on the exact same spot where Fitz found the mummy behind the wall? Because they found a part of the ship where a metal sheet had been torn free from the hull, leaving a narrow compartment between the two shells. I bet they're in the exact same spot where Fitz found that mummy. I wonder if things are going to amp up even further there. So there was another body probably in the same room, 10 feet away. So they found two of the mummies. They're in shrouds, so they don't realize that these two are mummified. Tried to get an accurate estimate of the shrouded bodies, at least 14. But there could be more hidden behind the stakes, crates, and disguised in the box. Okay, so there's like 14 of the mummies, probably. Flashback. Okay. Oh my God, a body just landed in front of Harland. Here, he was on the deck and thinking about the fog, wondering if actually, instead of the smell coming from the fog, if the fog was coming from the smell, that whatever evil is on the ship is creating the smell, which is creating the... And then he heard some sound, a couple of sounds, and then a body hit the deck. It landed with a dense crunching noise, splattering of bones and the bursting of skin. Skull cracked open like a coconut. Oh my God. Darcy Coates is too good. So, and Harlan just swallows a deep aching groan. So at this point, he barely even reacts. He's seen so much that, if a body drops in front of you, you're gonna have a reaction normally. But the poor guy, he's just, so didn't want to go closer, but he drags his feet towards it. And before he can even blow the whistle, a second body hits the deck near where he stood because he had to leap out of the way. And then he looks up and there's more bodies than he can count, standing there doing the dive off the side, like from the beginning. Oh my God! So okay, that's where all of the bodies in the shrouds that Cove and them found. That's where they came from. What oh, this ship is damned. Oh my God. I'm just, and the fact that they were missing they were hitting the deck because they were blinded by the fog. Oh my God. The imagery on that, okay, back to present. I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about how the crew's behavior was changing. And we have that going on right now with Aiden is okay with the bodies. He doesn't seem to be reacting to all of the shrouds that they found. And Roy has become irritable again. So I would say that they are definitely experiencing, like, I don't know if it's personality changes, mood swings, or something's off with them. Okay, that was pretty interesting when they were in the boiler room describing the body's decomposition and everything, and how the fat would form like a hardened shell on the outside of the body if it was lifted up to the surface. So I guess fat would seep through the skin. That's morbidly fascinating. So I did not know that. And like I said, it's scientifically cool, but ew. Okay, they found a door, so they have a way out. So hopefully, they'll be able to get out of there, right? So we have another message: keep them contained. And the arrow is pointing to the direction the girls had been traveling. So, and yeah, it looks like they tried to barricade there too. And it looks like they might have a gap in the ceiling, but that means they have to go through that barricaded part. I don't know that they should go there. And why isn't Vanna talking? Okay, that body that Hesse found looking through the hole in the wall into the bathroom, I don't know that I want to read the flashback on that to find out exactly why the woman went through the wall instead of the door. And yeah, because we're going to get the real story on it. And yeah, it's just, what is going on this ship? Okay, so Vanna finally spoke. She said unstable. So at least she spoke, right? Or was that not enough to confirm that it really is Vanna? Okay, so the 3 pathways leading to the hospital had been barricaded. quite heavily. And Hesse and Vanna are now heading towards the hospital. And even though she suspects that it's probably not a viral kind of outbreak or anything like that, she's already suspecting that something else was happening. They're going to the hospital, which I don't know. Yeah, and now we got a flashback. Okay, I just reached our magical paragraph. Holy crap, this is getting intense. And the fog is even thicker now at 15 feet. I have no idea what's happening on this ship. It's definitely some kind of an evil, supernatural, I don't know, I don't even know. But it's so good. I told y'all it would probably amp up today. And I didn't expect it to go this high. And we're probably, we're what, 50 for like the midpoint? I don't even want to know what we've got coming. Crap, it's so good. Okay. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know what to make of Roy. I think he's, I don't know. Something's up with Vanna. I don't know what's up with Vanna or that conversation. And did Roy intentionally cause that avalanche of silt and everything in the cargo hold, or did you kind of slip? I don't know. I kind of, yeah, here I am suspecting the people when this is definitely something not, this isn't the people, especially what happened 90 years ago. Now, I'm going to leave it up to y'all. I want to know what y'all's take is on it, other than, oh my God. I don't think there's any way you could get me to go back down for the third dive. But that's right, they don't really know. They just had, some eerie feelings and some, mishaps with their equipment and stuff like that. They don't know what happened 90 years ago, so they're going to confront it all. I think history is going to repeat itself during the third dive. I don't know. Maybe Devereaux is going to share some of the history. Okay, let me find out what our next stop is. Okay, so next time we are going to be going to 72%. And we also need to decide if we want to have an extra stop for this one or not. So we'll do a vote, I think. Oh, our next stop is actually very conveniently placed, I think. Or it's at a natural breaking point. Okay, so the fourth stop is the very beginning of chapter 46. So it'll be on page 337 in the paperback. Digital, it'll be on page 347. Audio, it'll be at 9 hours and 3 minutes, thereabouts. And the magical paragraph that you're looking for is actually the title, The Third Dive. So we're going to start the third dive during our next session. And then we'll have to decide after that if we want to go all the way to the end or if we want to break that into 2 smaller segments. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put up a poll and let y'all decide. So either we'll have 2 more stops after that with about 70 pages each, or we can just do it all in one go. So look for the poll. It'll be in the community tab. I will put it up as soon as this video goes up, and then y'all will have until I finish filming the next one, because I will have to let you know the result. So you're only going to have about a day and a half to vote on it. I will have an exact time for you on the poll. So be sure and go over to the community post after watching this to make your vote on whether you want an extra stop added to this or not. And then keep an eye out tomorrow, because we are going to start the process for picking March's book. So watch for that video. provided that all goes well. That will go up on the 16th. I think that's all the information y'all need. And I'm terrified and excited for our next reading session because I had so much fun with it today. But it's okay. I'm gonna call it here. Say goodbye for now. I will see you tomorrow as I tell you about March's theme, and that's it. Have a good one. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody, and bye.